So for today's lunch, we are going to be having Samgyupsal, and that is a Korean pork belly that you cook yourself at the table. It's like really fatty pork, so it's going to be nice and crisp.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Canadian bacon, except more thickly sliced.
Bacon for lunch. But yeah, I should also mention, if it sounds a little bit windy in here, it's because we've got the AC blasting and there's fans on in every single direction.
The fan's going and the TV's on.
Yeah, so that's a sign that it's a really hot day here in Korea.
And guys, this is basically your classic Korean barbecue.
Should be fun. Our side dishes have also arrived. You want to give us a tour of the table?
Sure, so let's take a look over here. So we've got some different pickled, basically vegetables over here. And this over here is the garlic. This is one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to add to the Korean barbecue, and I believe this is called mano. And then we have something called ssamjang, which is a mixture of the red pepper paste, the gochujang, and the doenjang sauce. So it's kind of like a mixture of the two. Awesome sauce.
Nice.
And then over here we've got the kimchi, of course. Looks like we've got some kind of pink radish. And yeah,
salad.
We are good to go.
And this over here, it looks like crab.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this over here is kind of like a dipping sauce for the Samgyeopsal. So we're just cooking it now. It's sizzling, and it's going to be ready to eat soon.
So they came and helped us out a little bit, and they basically cut the meat into little pieces so they can cook a little bit further and get nice and golden. Also, I should mention this meat isn't seasoned at all, and they didn't add any oil to cook it either. I think the idea is just that the fat is going to start melting, and that'll allow it to cook, you know, and cook in its own fat and give it more flavor. So yeah, we're just waiting now. Waiting for it to turn golden and crispy. I like mine really burnt.
Yeah, me too. Which is kind of strange because, like, if I'm eating steak or something else like that, I tend to like it a bit more rare, a bit more raw. But with Samgyeopsal, I find it tastes optimum when it's charred a bit. Yeah,
it's so fatty that you kind of want it to be golden and crispy. Otherwise, it's just like chewing fat, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So it is time to start cooking some garlic now that the meat's almost done.
Yeah, we're at that stage now, and I find that it's best just to put it kind of on the periphery of the grill so it doesn't get in the way of the meat. So we're just gonna start plopping that down. And with the garlic, you have to pay a lot of attention because it can burn quite fast. And, so you're gonna really wanna pay attention to that. So we'll maybe put half of it on now, and then we can put half of it on later.
Okay, so time to make this happen. Let's assemble your first bite.
It sure is time. I can't wait for this. So I'm grabbing my piece of Samgyeopsal, a Korean pork belly. And you know what? I'm going for a super one here. So I'm putting my garlic, my mano on here. A little bit of samjang. Put that right like that. And a little bit of some salad.
Wow,
so that looks pretty much perfect.
Big bite.
It's gonna be a huge bite. And now I'm gonna roll that all up. 감사합니다. Oh, we get jjigae too.
Ooh.
Kimchi jjigae? 감사합니다.
So now the expert roller is going to turn this into a little melt-sized ball.
It's all ready. Just scrunch it up into a ball. And one shot, one bomb. Oh man. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's been ages since I've had Korean barbecue. I have to say this place is really nailing it. Like, this is the real authentic deal. We're here in Seoul, Korea now, and we're having like just an amazing Samgyeopsal experience. Loving it.
So it is now time for my first bite, so let's do this right. I'm going to grab my lettuce leaf, grab my chopsticks, and I want this piece right here. This is just
that looks nice and crispy.
Golden to perfection. I'm also going to add some rice to mine. They just brought us some rice. So maybe like just a bite size.
Yeah, put that in there.
Yeah. A little bit of this sauce for flavor.
Samjang.
Some garlic. I'm gonna be getting lots of kisses tonight, right, Sam?
Yeah, you know the nice thing though is that we're gonna have equally bad breath.
We'll both have garlic breath.
Yeah.
Some of this pickled stuff. Okay, and that's probably a big enough bite for me.
You're going all out. That is a huge bite. That's bigger than mine.
I think this may be 2 bites.
Yeah, go for 2. I don't want you choking on it here. Oh, you did it all. How's that? A lot of competing flavors. Taste the garlic. You can taste the Samgyeopsal, the ssamjang sauce. It's gonna take you a while to chew. So just as you were chewing that, I'll point out that we typically, the reason why it's not busy here right now is we typically are coming and filming it really early, like 11:30, before people tend to come in around 12:30 or 1. And we're doing that so that we kind of have the place to ourselves.
So that was really good. I really enjoyed that first bite. I think my favorite thing is the whole garlic clove in there. Like, it's not the same as eating raw garlic, of course. It's nice and golden and it just gives it a nice flavor overall. I also really enjoyed the spicy sauce.
The ssamjang.
It's just so nice when it all mixes together.
And we have a lot left to eat, guys, so it is chow time.
Yeah, and you know what? The meat was not fatty. I was expecting it to be like a little chewy and greasy, but we've been letting it cook for an extra long time. So I think that's the trick. If you don't like fatty meat.
I think we got a nice cut too.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Going in for number 2. And you know what? If you're not a big fan of spicy sauces, they also give you a pretty simple sauce that you can dip your meat in.
You could just pick up your slice of Samgyeopsal, your Korean pork belly, and you kind of like coat it in this, which is like kind of like oil and kind of a salt mixture.
Well, I don't know about coating it. I would have just dipped it a little bit for some salt. How's that? Yeah?
It enhances the flavor for sure.
Yeah. Very good. And in true Korean fashion, I think we have some kind of game show happening in the background on the TV. Oh wait, no, it's a sporting event.
You know what? Before there was like a Korean drama, and everyone was wearing hanbok. So pretty cool programming on today.
So aside from all of the meat, they also brought us a jjigae, which is kind of like a soup or a stew.
Yeah, that was really nice of them. I think this was complimentary service.
Yeah, so this one has the kimchi, the cabbage, has a little bit of pork as well.
Also has the tofu,
and
the
tofu,
dubu.
a little bit of everything.
There's the dubu.
So I eat this by grabbing some rice first. Got some rice here, and then I dip it in the
Taking it for a swim.
That's my style. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it or not, but that's how I roll.
That's Audrey's special way of eating Korean soup. Korean stew. Is that tasty?
The meat is super tender. Super, super tender.
Spicy?
Not too spicy. It's actually mild in comparison to what we've been having. Also, I'd like to point out we're having purple rice right now. Normally they just give you plain white rice. So this feels a little bit fancy in a way. So yeah, lovely meal here. I'm really enjoying this. So we've been at it for a while with this meal. What's our progress update?
So we finished round 1. We had a tiny bit of Samgyeopsal left. So if you look down here, I'll explain what's going on. So as you can see here, this is the last of the Samgyeopsal. We just have like about 6 pieces. But what we have done is we put the kimchi on here and the rest of the garlic. So we've got
lots of garlic going on there.
We've got some tasty bits left to try. So I think the kimchi has been cooked enough, ready to try it. Oh, how hot.
I bet it is. It's fresh off the grill.
Wow. It's very different from having it like raw, the way it's normally prepared.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gets rid of a little bit of the spice.
Yeah.
And it cooks it a bit. So it just has more of a, like, it's a little bit less crispy, but I don't know, somehow I feel like it enhances the flavor a little bit. So I really do like it grilled as well as raw.
You know what? It's kind of hard to concentrate on what you're saying because just behind you we have some very intense scenes as part of a modern Korean drama. I think one of the main characters might be having a flashback to an accident. that deeply affected his life.
And I can't even watch it. You're the only one who gets to
Yeah,
view
you're
from here.
missing out here. All right. Well, we cleaned that up. The grill is
Nothing left
empty.
on the grill. Guys, that was a glorious Korean barbecue. Like, the best Korean barbecue, seriously. Awesome stuff.
So let's talk about the price point for that.
Okay, so the price point was man won per person, so 10,000 Korean won. So it came to 20,000 Korean won in total, which is iman won. And that's roughly about 17, 18 US dollars right now. So excellent value.
Yeah, and we still have food left over, especially the side dishes.
we still have some banchan to take care of, but we've taken care of the principal barbecue, which was the main mission here.